Yo, what's up? Keyshawn Chia here, back at you with another part to Ultimate Universe, and this will be part four, if I'm correct, part 4 or 5 to What If Deku Was a Villain. Now, I have an announcement to make. I'm sorry that I haven't been doing uploads like every single day. I haven't been feeling well, and I've been getting headaches a lot and stuff, so I really haven't been on like that. And if you have been seeing me online on my PlayStation 4 or any of that, I have been just that's have been my cousins because I've been letting them play while I've been asleep. Now, other than that, um, that's the announcement. And also another one, I'm gonna try my best to do videos and trying to go through this headache to give y'all videos because I know y'all still want those 18 and all these videos to be getting out, but I haven't been uploading, so I'm really sorry. But I'm gonna try my best. But this will be part 4 or 5 of What If Deku Was a Villain. Now, I'm not gonna do a quick recap because just watch part 4, 3, I forgot, but yeah, just watch the previous part and then come back to this video. Now, I'm just gonna do pretty much last left off a little bit, but that's pretty much it. We pretty much left off with Bakugo going back to, getting teleported to the UA with everybody, which everybody's, hugging Bakugo, realizing that his arm been replaced by his arm is, brand new and he has a new arm and stuff, and Bakugo's telling them that could pretty much rescue him and brought him back to life and stuff. Now, we're gonna switch back to Deku and Mizuku. Deku and Mizuku is, I know Deku and Kyo is pretty much brothers. Pretty much is saying that they're about to start the war, about to plan their attack. Now, since all that's done, let's get going. Now, this is where Deku and Kyo is pretty much sitting at a table, and they're pretty much talking to each other and saying, "Are you sure you're ready for this, brother? Are you sure you're ready to take over this whole city, including this whole nation, and call it our own?" Now, of course, this is where this is where Kill, Kill says this, and Deku is saying, yeah, I think we're ready. We have all the stuff we need, and plus, you got your little scientist girlfriend to pretty much create uh, half humans, half creatures, which Kill pretty much says shut up, which Deku begins to laugh. Now, this is where they put on their villain thing, and this is their villain thing, and it begins to pretty much go, and appear itself. Now, they pretty much mess with all the TVs and they broadcast themselves. Now, this is what Deku says. Hello, hello, is this on? Okay. Dear, dear Japan, we will here to be taken over. We will become the new, you could say, people here, and we will rule this whole nation over. And if anyone's trying to stop us, well, we're not going to kill you, but we're just going to kick your ass. No killing policy. Now, this is where everybody gets the broadcast, and of course, Elizabeth gets it too, and Kill is right beside his brother, and the broadcast cut off. Now, this is where every pro hero is in. Everybody's trying to figure out where they come from and get that from, so they can track it down. Now, this is where Deku and Kill heads back to the lab, their facility, and this is where Uraraka, she's pretty much sitting down and playing with you could say the kids that got cloned or the experiments, and they're playing with her and stuff. And the oldest one is Eve, of course, and she's pretty much talking to her father and telling him that they're all doing well. Which this is where Deku is saying, we're not gonna use them for battle. They're just gonna be here a while. They're just gonna be as the new evolutionized as heroes. They can be wherever they want to be. I really wasn't about to use them as a weapon. This is one of the clones comes out and saying, pretty much saying, Father Deku, which Deku looks at one of them and says, yes, number zero. Now this is, of course, number zero because they don't have names. Pretty much number zero is looking at Deku is saying, Father, are you going to take over the whole nation of Japan? Which this is where Deku doesn't need says, yeah, I am. and Kill's gonna help me. With Zero saying, huh, I want to. That sounds amazing. Now, of course, this is where number one asks, can they go out and see the outside world and stuff? Which Deku thinks that he says, it wouldn't hurt. Might as well let them see some experience outside the world. Which this is where um, all the experiments gets to get dressed and it begins to head out. Now they don't all wear like white or anything. They just wear, you know, color outfits. Now they're pretty much going and looking around while Uraka and Eve is walking them around and showing them. And of course Eve is pretty new to the stuff too because, like I said, she was just created by multiple stuff. Now, of course, this is where as they're all walking, they're looking around and stuff, and Uraka is explaining like what his stuff is to the you could say the test subject to little kids, or you could say the kids subjects or clones, and they're pretty much saying wow, ooh, amazing. They're saying ooh, wow, ooh, amazing and stuff, and pretty much Uraka is smiling, saying oh they're so cute. Now this is where Eve is pretty much looks at a necklace and looks it up. Now this is where she opens in. This is where Uraka tells us that it's a heart necklace where you can put pictures and stuff. Where this is where Eve smiles and she, you could say, have the power of since Deku and Kill creates a picture of all of them as a family into that one picture, and Uraka saying, "Did you?" But Eve says, "Yeah." Which the kids look and they say, "Wow, amazing," and they pretty much Eve pretty much put it in her pocket, but she pays the guy. And they pretty much go. Now they head back to the lab, and Deku's pretty much is getting ready to battle, pretty much battle, including Kill. And they're getting there, you could say their villain outfit ready and putting on their mask. Now this is where they're all coming back and they're saying they're going somewhere, which Deku says, yeah, they're about to do it. Which Uraka says, let me join. And Deku says, uh, no, Uraka, I want you to stay here and protect the facility. Which Eve says, let her go, which Deku says, no, I want both of y'all to protect the facility and protect Elizabeth while they go and, do this. Now, this is where, of course, Eve gives out the necklace to Deku and tells both of them to good luck and hugs both of them, calling them father, and they pretty much disappear. Now, this is where, of course, Deku and Kill ends up in the president room, and they're pretty much right by the president saying, "Hello, Mr. President." Well, you could say not president, but you could say the CEO or whatever at Japan. I forgot what they call him, but pretty much we're just gonna call it president. Pretty much, this is where. Hold on. This is where, of course. Sorry about that. This is where, of course. I'm sorry if I hear anything back noise. I try my best to close off, but it's still too loud. But pretty much, this is where Deku grabs the president and he pretty much puts him in another dimension. Not killing him, but throws him in another dimension where this dimension is not evil, not as dangerous, but weird. You could say it's a bizarre world. You could say. Now, of course, this is where uh that world president died, and as Japan president come uh when they said that Japan president there, all the people were saying, "Oh, you're back! What? The president's back!" And then they're all hopping on top of him and stuff and saying they can't believe he's back. Now, of course, everybody thought that Deku and killed the president after showing the whole broadcast of what happened, but they didn't do it. They said no killing process. So this is where Deku Kill saying, "Now we are the new presidents. About tomorrow, and if anyone wants to fight us to try to objectify, come at me and my brother." No, of course, this is where all the pro heroes and all the security guards are about to try to stop Deku and Kill. But this is where Deku and Kill pretty much says bow, and they all knees down and fall to the ground. Pretty much can't lift their body up. No, this is, of course, where all the pro heroes are, coming and stuff, and the battle is happening. Now Deku and Kill is pretty much waiting for them to all come, and this is where Deku begins to smile and says that they all here. Now as Deku's walking out, this is walking out. We're gonna say the office and he sees all of them, and of course he sees uh including All Might and Deku and Bakugo. Now, of course, this is where Kill comes out too, and they begins to have a standoff. Now, this is where All Might begins to try to come to him and talk to him and say he's sorry for what he said to them up to the rooftop, saying that they couldn't be heroes because he thought they didn't have a quirk or power stuff and all that. Which Deku is saying there's that's in the past. You can't try to repent for your sin now and say that we could have been heroes and stuff and trying to talk us out of this. It's already done. And this is where Bakugo pretty much saying, but you just killed someone. Yeah, I said no killing pussy, which Deku and Kill begins to start laughing about me, saying, we didn't kill him. We just sent him into another dimension. You remember? No killing pods. In which Bakugo asks, what dimension did they send him in? And this is where Deku Deku begins to smile and says, well, we put him in a dimension where he died. And now everybody is going to see that he's alive, of course. Now, this is where, of course, every heroes are, still having their fine stance and stuff and still talking to him. Now, this is where, All Might is trying to ask him one more time to please stop this and bring back the president. And everything can be all good and they can be heroes, which Deku says, no, I think we're going to rule this. And this is where, of course, we're going to say one of the heroes who's, we're going to say the hero with the bunny ears, charge at Deku. Deku pretty much grabs her and he slams her down on the ground. Pretty much saying, alright, I guess I do want more then. Alright, come at us. And this is where all heroes are charging at Deku and Kill. Now, you remember, if anyone watched that fight between Martyr and the whole villages, yeah, it's pretty much like that, but Deku and Kill is pretty much whooping them 10 times worse than Martyr. So I will put in detail of how this fight is going. So bear with me. As as All Might is charging, as air, as All Might is charging at Deku and Bakugo too. This is where Deku looks at Bakugo, puts him in an illusion, which Bakugo knees down to the ground and fucking falls on his face. This is where Kill comes up and punch All Might in the stomach, punch him multiple times in his gut and stuff, including kicking him in the face, sending him flying to a tree, which he breaks the tree and gets sent flying to another tree, pretty much falling down to the ground, coughing up blood and debuffing. Now, of course, this is where everybody sees All Might debuffing. Well, they already see All Might got debuffed, but they already know his weakness. But they just see All Might down to the ground. Now, of course, this is where Razorhair comes in. He's trying to erase their quirk, which Kill and Deku looks at him, and they pretty much looks at him with red eyes, and pretty much cancel out his quirk, which he pretty much falls down to the ground and coughing up needles, coughing up we're gonna say coughing up needles and blood, coughing up needles and stuff, and saying what the, and realize he's getting weak and stuff, and this is where he begins to hit the ground, and blood is, you could say, slowly coming out of his mouth, but he's not dying. Now, of course, this is where we're gonna say the other heroes coming in and using their quirks and stuff, including including the old man that he charged. He's pretty much charging in, try to stop Deku, which this is where Deku pretty much does a roundhouse kick and kicks him into kicks him all the way to another dimension and back, send him flying into a tree. Now, of course, the other heroes are, saying damn what we're supposed to do, and they use their combined might to try to stop one of them. Now, of course, this is where they go after Kill, and they pretty much, hit Kill with their all combined power, and they pretty much send Kill's flying. Now, this is where Deku begins to start laughing and saying, "Is that all y'all got? You just pissed off my brother. You know that, right?" And this is where Kill pretty much gets mad and he pretty much let out a loud scream. A scream that everybody can hear. Now everybody's holding their ear because it's around the radius. He begins to start flowing up and saying, "You really had to hit me with that?" And begins to show out, let out a monster. Well, begins to let out the creature, Kazoo. Now, this is where Deku looks and says, "Uh oh." And Kazulu is pretty much created in the world. Now, anyone who sees Kazulu gets, go crazy and, loses itself. Because it says that if you look at him, you go insane and all that crap. And Kazulu has a lot of powers. Now, of course, the heroes are all going insane and stuff. People going nuts and stuff. And we're gonna say there's a blind hero with a quirk, and he's pretty much saying, "What are y'all doing? Why is everybody screaming and freaking out and stuff and going nuts?" Now, this where Kazulu is just walking very slowly to the heroes to wipe them out with the whole kadoosh thing until the blind hero pretty much, we're gonna say he has a blinding light, and he pretty much shoots a light beam at uh at Kazulu. Now it pretty much hit Kazulu, but it doesn't damage him. It doesn't even scratch him, and it's still walking. Now this is where Deku pretty much touched Kazulu and erased it, pretty much saying, "Now, brother, you know you were not supposed to kill them. You was just about to erase all, kill everybody, kill half the Earth." Which Kill says, "Oh, sorry about that, brother. They just really pissed me off." Now, of course, the heroes who got affected by Zulu are probably like all all mad and stuff, and like going crazy and stuff, and still in a comatose state and all that. Now, the battle's already over, and all the heroes, half of the heroes who's all left, are pretty much hiding or in fear, or half of them is already given up and submit, and pretty much on now. Now, everybody saw on the thing what happened, and half of the people were like insane that saw the Kazulu thing, or lost herself. So the battle kind of did a little casualties. Now, this is where, of course, as they going back to the office and stuff, this is where the security guards and stuff are all frightened and stuff, and Deku and Kill is sitting at the seat. Now, the next day, pretty much half the heroes are all in the hospital, at a mental hospital, you could say, trying to, like, a hero, we're gonna say a doctor who has a quirk to fix brains and stuff, is pretty much fixing the heroes who got affected by the Kazulu thing, and helping them, trying to get them get them back to normal. Well, this is where Deku and Kill does another broadcast saying they're gonna do a pretty much a interview, and anyone who want wishes or want questions can pretty much come. Now, of course, the next day comes and they're pretty much putting on their suits and stuff, and Kill asks how does he look, which Deku asks how do I look, and they begin to start laughing, head out. Now this is where a lot of people is here. Like, we're gonna say a lot of people is here because the casualties at cities and stuff wasn't that bad. Because Zulu did do a lot of destruction when he was summoned, so yeah. Um, this is where they pretty much get a lot of pictures and cameras and stuff, and this is where Deku asks anyone want wishes or answers, and people was raising hand, which Deku pointed at one person, and we're gonna say it's an old lady who pretty much asks him a wish, pretty much saying, "Can you help my son and other people who got affected by that creature? My son has never been since the same." Which Deku looks and he pretty much says, "Huh, okay, we can do that for you." And he pretty much snaps his finger and pretty much, help out the people who got affected by Cthulhu because, like I said, he didn't want no casualties to happen to people. So he's only doing that just to get more power. Now, of course, the son is, cured, and all the other people who got cured too, and she's saying it's a miracle and stuff. Now, other people is asking questions and stuff, and Deku points at the other person, and we're gonna say it's one of the cut news things saying, So is it true? Are you going to? Is it true? Did you actually defeat every super every pro hero and every hero that ever came? Which Deku and Kill says, yeah, we pretty much demolished them. You just seen the battle, what happened on camera, right? Which the guy is saying, right, sweating and stuff. Now, of course, this is where everybody else is like saying, oh, and another girl asked for a wish, saying that can they help the kids with cancer awareness and stuff and all that, which Deku grants the wish and stuff. Pretty much, they have power when they're together, but when they're by themselves, and the power is like kind of 50%, but it's still powerful. It's like think of it like when they're together, it's like they like this. When they're together, it's like Shaggy 1% power. Think of that meme. But when they're separate, it's like 0.1%. But they're still powerful, but not with the 1% power. Now, pretty much, they're granting wishes and stuff and doing the thing. And they're not doing this out of their own kindness. They're not trying to become a hero or anything. No, they're just doing this because they want more power and have more people to worship them and stuff. Now, this is of course where Deku pretty much says that's it for today. They're trying to get more pictures and all that. And Deku and Kyo heads back to the office. They're pretty much sitting. Now, of course, this is where they're about to get going, and the guards are sticking by them, pretty much saying, "Allow us to do, allow us to drive you to where you're going." Which Deku says, "Okay," and Kyo, and then because they head into the limousine and start driving. Now, as they're driving, uh, this is where, as they're going, a little girl pretty much is getting in front of the car, which the Deku looks and says, "What have what have what stopped this?" And he looks out the window, see a little girl, pretty much having tears in her eyes and clenching her fist and saying, "Please help my mom, help me and my mom." Which Deku gets out the car and pretty much start walking forward, saying, "Now why should I help you? You interrupted me. You interrupted my drive to a place I was going." And she pretty much look at him with determined eyes and saying, pretty much showing that if you don't help me, I will I will always put my hatred on you and vow to kill you. Now, this is where Deku sees in her eyes the whole willpower, and he's saying, "Huh, I see. Okay, I help you, but for a cost." Which the little girl says, "What is the cost?" Deku pretty much says, "Well, I'm gonna make you one of my disciples. You're gonna become a living, killing machine." Which the little girl is pretty much thinking about her mom and her father and how they're living in the house and her her mother and father is slowly dying. So she says she's doing. Now, of course, this is where Deck snaps his finger and her family's perfectly okay. They're all right. Their house is pretty much they don't live in a homeless shelter. They live in like we're gonna say a regular house and stuff. And this is where the mom and the father's getting up saying what happened, and they're pretty much looking and they see themselves much better, but they also realizing where's their daughter at that was taking care of them. Now, this is where Deku says, "Now come on, you're coming with me. You're gonna be my disciple," and begins to you know head off with the little girl. Now, this is where they head to the facility, and they're pretty much the guards is pretty much looking, and they say, "What is this place? I haven't seen this before." Which Deku says, "Yeah, it's a facility we made for the new generation of human race, you could say." Now, of course, this is where they head inside, and this is where the little kids, this is where you could say the clones or the subjects, well, we're gonna just go call them clones of them, pretty much are all certain power like fragments of the clones of Killa and Deku, pretty much appearing saying, "Father, father," they're all running into them, which Deku says, "Ah, hello kids," children, which Eve is, she's appearing saying, "Welcome back, father." Now, of course, this is where Eve looks and sees a little girl, which Eve says, "Who is this?" Which all the other clones are running to her, and we're gonna see all girls and boys running into them, running in, pretty much saying, who is she?" Now, this is where Deku says, "Well, this is my disciple. I'm gonna be training her into the living, killing weapon machine." Which, you know, they're all have the same intelligence, like Deku was saying. "Oh, okay, that sounds cool. Lucky, our father Wrigley don't train us to that." Now, this is of course Zero saying, "I want to become one too," because Zero wants to, get his father approval and love, because he loves them all equally, but he doesn't, you know, Zero is more like that kid who kind of doesn't believe that BS. Now, of course, this is where Deku looks and smiles and says, "Of course." Now, this is where, of course, Deku and Kill is at the facility with Elizabeth, and also with Uraka. Now, Uraka, she's pretty much is could say is completely trained and ready to get her revenge. Now, Deku is saying, "Are you ready to get your revenge off off him?" Which Uraka is saying, "Yeah, I'm ready to kill him." Which Kill says, "All right. Well, let me tell my brother I'm gonna be going with you." Now, this is where Kill tells Deku that they're gonna go get Shigaraki and in him to pretty much get revenge for Uraka, which Deku says, "All right, but come back." Now, they pretty much go, and Deku is pretty much getting all this work done, and he begins to go to the training room with the little girl and of course Zero. Now, this is where Deku is pretty much telling them what they're going to do, and their first test is to survive as long as they can. And he pretty much create weapons and tell them to choose one weapon wisely to survive a whole 1 minute or a whole 1 hour, you could say, which they pretty much choose a weapon. Now, of course, uh, they pretty much choose their weapons, and Zero, he chose a katana, a short katana, and the little girl, she chose a dagger. Now, this is where the whole hour commits, and he tells them the good luck. Now, this is where, of course, I'm going to say little creatures comes out and begins to start attacking them, which Zero and the little girl has to fight. Now we're going to switch back to Kill and Uraka. Now they pretty much meet at the villain's hideout, where overall is at pretty much talking to Shigaraki and stuff. And they're at that scene when Shigaraki lose one of his team members to the villain overall, and they're just seeing what happened. Now, of course, this is where Kill appears, and Shigaraki says, and overall looks, and they say, "It's you." Now, Uraka, she pretty much has her face showing, saying, "You remember me?" Which Shigaraki says, "Oh, it's you. It's that crybaby little girl. It's that crybaby little," which she says, "bitch." Pretty much, who was screaming for All Might's help, but still died. Now this is where she gets mad and pretty much start crushing, lifting up the earth and creating, you could say little balls and throws them with garbage, hitting Shigaraki, sending him flying into the wall, crushing both crushing both his arms so he can't really escape or move. Now this is where, of course, Toga looks at. She's getting her stuff ready and about the battle until, of course, Kill says, now sleep," and pretty much put Toga to sleep. He pretty much takes her and pretty much teleports her to the secret facility. Now, of course, this is where all the other villains are. They're having the battle with Toga, and they're not scratching Toga. Like, Toga has her quirk evolve into a, how can I say, she can use gravity on about anything, including attack projectiles, up to bullets, up to water. She can bend water, you could say. Not as an avatar, but as gravitational, kind of defying the falls of Olympics, you could say. Now, she's pretty much, as we're gonna say, I forgot his name, pretty much using the blue fire quirk, flame quirk. She's pretty much using the gravity to redirect it and hit it at overall, which overall gets hit. Now, of course, the other villains are trying to attack her, and they're pretty much just getting their ass whooped. Now, this is where Uraraka begins to start floating and flying to Shigaraki, and she says, and this is where she says, "This is where you die," and pretty much kills Shigaraki by crushing him by two boulders she had him caught. Now, this is where she lands down and takes a breather and says, "Ah, that felt good." And Kill begins to come pretty much walk close up to her and says, "Alright, let's go," and pretty much, get out of there. Now, this is where as Toga is pretty much waking up, she sees herself in the tube. Pretty much in the tube. Pretty much chilling up. Now, this is where Kill says, "Ah, hello Toga." Which Toga is pretty much looking around and she can't move her body or stuff. And Kill is pretty much explaining to her saying, "Oh, don't worry about trying to move. You're right now stuck in the tube getting healed up. But also we're extracting some of your DNA so we can use to create other clones and stuff. So don't worry about that." Which Toga is, as she's speaking in her mind, Jack Kill can read her mind and pretty much say, and don't think about trying to become a villain or none of that. You're gonna be staying here from now. I mean, you can go out and get some food and stuff, but you're gonna be mostly staying here. Oh, and Shigaraki is dead, if you're trying to ask, and most of the villains, if Uraraka didn't kill him. And Kill begins to leave the lab and says, "Oh, but make sure to get some rest." And begins to leave. Now, of course, this is where Deku is coming back, and the whole hour is up, and Zero and the little girl is still alive. A little bit scratched up and stuff, but they're still alive. Which Deku says, "Huh, look like I survived the first trial. Did y'all use teamwork or anything?" Which uh, Zero is Zero is not saying anything, and the little girl says, "No, he was the one more like rescuing me." But we're going to switch back, and we're gonna do a quick recap of what happened. So the little girl had the dagger, and Zero had the katana, and he was, killing some things. And this is where Zero gets hit by one of them, sent flying to the wall, which the little girl has to, cover Zero and pretty much kill every single monster and stuff with her willpower to want to live. So more like the little girl helped out Zero, but we're not gonna say that. So we're gonna say it, but Zero's not gonna say nothing about that. Now, Deku begins to says, "Alright," and says, "Well, y'all better get some rest. Y'all gonna be learning how to do a lot of things," which Zero is pretty much walking very slowly, trying to drag his leg, which the little girl help out Zero, which Zero says, "I don't need your help," which she says, "I can still help you," which Zero has a pretty same healing capability as, Deku Kill, but since he used a lot of power of trying to use some magic with that backfire, he's pretty much injured, so she's gonna carry him. Now, later that night, they all begin to eat and stuff, and they're all talking to each other. Now, this is where Inko, of course, I'm gonna say Inko, she begins to come by. I mean, well, you could say call Deku and pretty much ask where have they been. She's been worried sick by them and asking if it's true that they are the new, you could say, presidents. Which Deku says, "Yes, Mom, we're alright. Sorry that I haven't been calling you, and yes, we are the new presidents." Now, Inko was pretty much, smiling and saying, you know, you know, at first I didn't want to, at first I thought I didn't want to have y'all because I was doing the stuff, but once I've been given all that money, I thought of, I thought it was just, I thought it was just taking care of y'all. I didn't know y'all would become like this." Which Deku, like, starts to think and says, Are you disappointing us? Which she says, no, I'm not disappointed of y'all. I'm still proud of y'all. Hey, whatever y'all want to be, I will always be proud to support y'all. Which Deku smiles and says, thanks, Mom. I'm gonna go now. Bye. Which she says bye. And she said make sure to come by the house sometime. Now, of course, this is where they're all eating and stuff, including all the clones and stuff. And they're all talking to each other and stuff. And Deku is looking at his whole family, and he's pretty much smiling, which Kill sees it and he smiles too. And this is where they lift up a glass and they say cheers. Now, as they're all about to hit the, pretty much all about to, be done eating, this is where Kill appears. Kill, the father of Deku and Kill. Now, this is where he appears and he begins to smile and saying, it's almost time. Which Deku is saying, time of what? The tournament, where all the gods and all the ones that got the power from the gods fight for the one wish. Which, this is where Deku thinks this is, he's right, brother. We're gonna have to, it's almost time. We have to get ready. Which, this is where Kid says right. And this is where all the subjects look and they all, staring at him with the red eyes. And they're all staring with the red eyes and they got white hair. And they're pretty much saying, who are you? And they all sense a very powerful vibe. So they're all, showing off their power and stuff. Which Kill looks at all of them and he begins to, smile and monopoly and laugh his ass off saying, oh, are these children, them? These clones you created? Look at them all trying to be defensive and protect their little daddies. Protect their dads. Their two dads. Including her. She's definitely showing off a powerful vibe. A vibe of energy. Huh. Y'all are trying to prove your strength. But don't worry. I'm their father. But one more thing. Sleep. And he makes everybody fall asleep except for Kill and Deku because they're strong enough to handle it. And Kill pretty much makes a serious tone of saying, if y'all ever trying to show y'all power against me again and defy me and trying to show me disrespect, I will erase everything. And he pretty much says, but I must go. See you later, sons. See you later, sons. And begins to go. Go. No, Deku and Kill was pretty much saying, we gotta get stronger. They pretty much think to each other saying, yeah. Now, this is part 3, part 4, part 4 or 5? I think 4 of What If Deku Was a Villain. If you like, leave a like, comment, do all that stuff. I'm Keisha Chia. Thanks for watching and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.